Okay, Steve, this video is for you. Sometimes it's hard to identify the differences between many of the Buick 15-inch rally wheels. So I'm going to give you a little information about what I know on these wheels. So as you can see, I've got 3 examples right here. They all look very similar. We know, in talking to a lot of different people, that when you turn one up on its side like this, you can put a quarter right there and it kind of just sits there nicely. Doesn't hang over. As you can see, sits right on that little shelf real easily. That's kind of a quick, down and dirty way to identify the WG wheel. Whereas if I take a different one, put it on there. Number one, you'll notice I couldn't even get it to stay on that lip. Now I've gotten it to stay, but you'll notice when I run my finger up, it's hitting it. Tapping it. Yeah, it stayed on there, but it just tapping it. Whereas again, put that one on there, nowhere even close to tapping it. Yeah, that one sits in there real well. That's the offset that people talk about. Now, what a lot of people don't talk about is how to read the codes on the back. This wheel was manufactured in 1969, 11th month, November 21st. It is a 7.0, okay? The reason for this is they did not make these officially WG wheels until a later time. And an example of that is this wheel. Again, we're going to do the quarter test. Set it down there. Notice not making any contact. Okay. And we're going to flip this over. And we're going to look for the date. There it is. You'll notice this, 1970. 5th month would be May 6th. This is a WG wheel. You will also notice there are codes on the back of the actual centerpiece as well. So these two wheels are essentially exactly the same. They're just coded differently. One being a 7.0, one being a WG. Now, when we get over here to the other that is not a WG or a 7.0, you'll notice this one's completely different. Let me see if I can get this. You almost can't make it out, but it looks like 1977. February 3rd. This is a WP. It is not WG. Why is that important? Because I'm going to show you a little something that a lot of people don't see. And this is hard to explain when you're writing it out to people. When you touch this little ridge right here, between the lug hole and here, there's a little ridge. And you'll feel it. It's very shallow. Very shallow. But on the later ones, you can literally see how much difference and how deep that is. That is a big difference on the center. Now, why am I pointing this out? Is because a lot of the reproduction wheels used later centers that were made from 1971 and up. They are incorrect because of that. So that kind of tells you a few things. The other part of it is, not sure I can grab this on video, but this part in here is almost kind of chromish, but it's almost like an aluminum coloring. It's not as bright chrome as, say, the outside. This comes into play because the reproductions are chrome. They're not that kind of satiny look. Kind of hard to explain, and again, it's something hard on video. But I hope this is informative. I hope this kind of teaches you a few things about the differences of the WG, the 7.0, and the later wheels, and ways to identify them when they're on a car. For example, I've got my Skylark right here, and we can tell just by the depth that's a later wheel, much later. Again, we can tell not a WG wheel because it barely sits on there and it's easy to knock off. In fact, I just lost my quarter. But anyway, so this kind of gives you some basic information on how to identify these wheels, what people look for, how they're identifying them quickly, and everything like that. If I can answer more questions for you, just let me know. And also, these are the two I have extra that I will sell you if you're looking for wheels for your GSX, because it took me a long time to get them for my GSX. So anyway, have a great day.